Coming up on Bloom, we'll tell you about the dangerous budget Ozempic weight loss trend.
And so the first question should be, all right, well, is this a weight loss practice? Will this actually help me lose weight? And the short answer is yes, you're going to lose a tiny bit of weight, but it is not long-standing.
And we'll share skin and makeup trends to get you red carpet ready for the Oscars. Plus, we've got a spread that will win all kinds of awards. We'll have all that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. I'm Gayle Guyardo. Welcome to Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We're exploring wild health trends. That's right, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there are some disturbing trends emerging, like one called budget Ozempic. People want to get their hands on the popular weight loss drug sweeping the nation and leading to unprecedented weight loss. But the problem is, if it's not being prescribed by your doctor, you have to pay for it out of pocket, and that's not cheap. Joining me now with more on this disturbing trend is double certified nutritionist Martha Van Camp. It is so good to see you, my friend.
Great to be back, and I'm so glad we're talking about this crazy trend called budget Ozempic, right?
Yeah, I was actually reading in JAMA, the Journal of American Medicine, and it said that nearly 1 in 10 teens globally have used budget Ozempic. That includes laxatives and what else?
Right, so it is really focused on laxatives, and you got to think, okay, why do they call it budget Ozempic? Is because that's such a key word for social media that it's so easily found, and so it's going to show up on kids' TikTok or Instagram feed. But it has literally nothing to do with Ozempic. It has nothing to do with semaglutide. And so what they're doing is they are taking any kind of laxatives. And look, laxatives do serve a purpose at a time, albeit I would say if someone's constipated or bloated, like let's think about magnesium versus something like your traditional laxatives. But what they're doing is almost overdosing on these so that they are pushing waste out of their body very quickly. And so the first question should be, all right, well, is this a weight loss practice? Will this actually help me lose weight? And the short answer is yes, you're going to lose a tiny bit of weight, but it is not long-standing or long-lasting.
Yeah, and speaking of long-lasting, these aren't supposed to be a long-lasting solution even if you're constipated. This is to get you over a hurdle, so using it for weight loss seems dangerous.
Very dangerous. Now, I told you prior to us starting this segment that I had a little story to tell you. So when I was morbidly obese at 275, and I get the desperation of anyone who just wants to lose 5, 10, 15, 100 pounds, so this is probably 25 years ago, I too turned to laxatives. Under the umbrella of like the crazy things I tried to do to lose weight, I as well did this. And I will tell you, you do suffer some effects. And that can be something from dehydration to electrolyte imbalance to even making yourself long run more constipated than ever. Because by using these, you're not relying on the muscles of your intestines to flush the waste out. What laxatives do is they take water from around our body, right? We're all full of water, and they flush it, it transfers it very quickly into our intestines to soften the stool and then push the stool out. So again, you're dealing with big long-term issues of dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, irritation of the colon and gut, which can be really bad, which could then turn to constant diarrhea and even IBS constipation.
All right, so speaking of which, and since we're disclosing things, not because of laxative use, but just because of not eating the right foods. Right. I had the worst IBS, which I didn't realize, you know, when I went to fix my thyroid and they started repairing all my foods and trying to see what I was sensitive to. you get something like IBS and your body's not holding on to the nutrients that it needs. And if you're using laxatives, your body's not hanging on to the nutrients it needs.
Amen.
And that's going to lead to other health problems.
Correct. So you think about the cycle of how food goes through our bodies, small intestines, large intestines, all those things. There's a reason why, hypothetically, it might take your body a full 2 days to digest and process red meat, a big steak. But while that's happening, it doesn't mean that something bad is going on in your body. It means that your body is literally absorbing the nutrients that it needs to operate on a daily basis. So whether it's a piece of fruit, it's a sweet potato, it is broccoli, it's any kind of protein, your body is using that time as the food progresses through the body to actually absorb the nutrients that we need. Otherwise, if you're constantly using something like a laxative, then your body does not have time to absorb those nutrients, and so you're going to be nutrient deficient. And look, I think the biggest visual that we can think about is, we've all seen these commercials, or maybe people have been on mission trips where you see these horrifically emaciated children. And why? Because they don't have the food that they need, nor are they getting the nutrients they need. And while I'm not saying that using laxatives would make us, horrifically nutrient deficient, it is going to cause issues with your electrolytes, and it is going to cause issues with your energy because you're not absorbing the nutrients that are purposeful with the foods that you're eating.
So not for budget Ozempic, all right, this is one trend that we're saying,
Right.
Throw it out the window, it's not good for you. But when is there a time for a laxative?
I would say there's 2 times. One, the very obvious, like if you have changed your diet, perhaps we've even gone to a cleaner diet. When I would take clients from eating very processed foods over to eating whole food nutrition, like basic proteins, vegetables, things like that, they would often get constipated because it was such a drastic change in their diet. So there is a time and a place for that, but that should be maybe once or twice or 3 days, not weeks on end, nor should it be used to losing weight. Secondarily, some people are born with a slow-moving colon, and so they don't have the same muscle response that maybe you or I do to push the waste out. So, of course, talk to your doctor. If you feel like you are chronically constipated and you're relying on something like this, not for weight loss, but just to poop, then you do need to talk to your doctor, because there are safe ways to do this. But again, there are some people born with slow moving colons and they just don't have that muscle contraction that it takes to get the waste out.
All right. There you go, the scoop on the poop.
The scoop on the poop.
All right, thanks,
Don't
Martha.
do it for weight loss.
All right, we're going to share Martha's story on BloomTampaBay.com. And when we come back, the Happy Healthy Human Coach, Michelle Cuff, shares the dangers of dry scooping, pre-workout, and protein powders. We'll be right back. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now, 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. We're exploring wild health trends today, crazes that take off in the health world. Some work, others not so much. Joining me now is the Happy Healthy Human Coach, Michelle Cuff, with what to avoid and what might actually bolster your wellness. So good to see you.
Good to see you. You got your wild and crazy reporter here.
Yes, I know. I'm excited to see what you dug up.
So do you want me to start?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got a few wild health trends that are going on right now. And the first one that I'm going to talk to you about it's on TikTok. It's called dry powder. Like you're doing powder, but you're putting it in your mouth dry.
Dry scooping?
Dry scooping. And I'm going to tell you.
What's the scoop?
So the scoop is that this is not good, okay? This is a younger generation thing, and there's choking hazards. And it's not good to just put all this powder in your mouth without any water. So I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
Okay.
You can do this if you want, but I brought this guy. This is what I use. I put my powder in here, and then at the gym I'll add water. It has a little shaker in here. You'll hear it. this little silver thing, and it
Yeah.
mixes up your powder really good. Let's be safe and do it that way.
Sure. I remember back in the day when kids were doing the cinnamon,
Right.
and they were putting cinnamon in their mouth, and some were choking to
Yes.
death. Like, you don't want to mess around with this. You know what I've started doing with it that I love is I will take my favorite protein powder, which I like vanilla flavor.
Right.
I'll
That's
put
what
some
that is.
water, shake it up, pour my coffee in it.
Oh, yeah, there
and then
you
it
go.
acts as my creamer, and I'm getting
Right.
my extra protein. It
Right.
tastes amazing.
Right. So, yeah, we don't like this
Yeah, so
one.
just add some liquid to it one way or the other. What next?
Okay, so another thing, and it's been around for a while, it's called oil pulling. Okay,
yes.
so people are putting like a teaspoon of coconut oil in their mouth, and they're swishing it around for up to 20 minutes, but now they're saying even 5 minutes is beneficial. And why people are putting this in their mouth and doing this is for oral health. So it helps with gingivitis, it helps with halitosis, which is bad breath, dry mouth, things like that. But just overall oral health is good. I would say it does have benefits, and you could do it every day, but maybe 3 times a week. A lot of people say it whitens their teeth, so that's just another kind of strange.
I don't think I could swish coconut stuff in my
Well,
mouth
that's
for
the downside.
20 minutes.
That's the downside. People are like gagging, choking, and it doesn't sound
I'm
fun.
a gagger. Couldn't
Yeah.
do it. What's
So,
next?
so that's kind of like in the middle. I don't know.
Okay,
But
okay,
but
all right.
people swear by it.
All right, next.
Okay, another weird thing is called activated charcoal.
Okay, I've heard about this.
Okay, so activated charcoal is something that when you go to the emergency room and say you've had too much to drink, which that is not us.
I know.
Or, you've got toxins, they'll give you activated charcoal, and what it does is it binds up whatever the toxins are, and the body expels it.
Okay.
So people keep pills at home, they keep a powder. If you have food poisoning from the night before, it'd be good to take some. This is an activated charcoal toothpaste, which people brush their teeth with, again, whitens their teeth. But the pill form is something that you wouldn't take like every day.
Okay.
This would be if you've had too much alcohol, maybe the next morning you want to take, supposedly it really helps get the alcohol out, or again, like toxins, things like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I used the toothpaste version of it, or like little tablets, and you brush your teeth with them. The one thing is it did turn the bristles of my
Right.
toothbrush charcoal colored, which is weird,
yes.
but all right.
So that's what activated charcoal is. And, again, some benefits if you want to do that, but it also has some downside too.
Okay.
Okay, now this next one is the one I'm excited about because I actually use this thing.
Okay.
So this is a hydrogen water bottle.
Okay.
And if you've ever heard of like Gary Brecka or Andrew Huberman, they're longevity experts, they swear by this. So what this bottle does is it's adding hydrogen ions to your water. So what you do is you're going to press this little button here.
Okay, all right.
And you're going to see it start to work, okay?
All right,
There it goes.
there it goes.
Okay, so while we're
Ooh.
talking, so the benefits of this is, and there's been like 1,400 peer-reviewed studies on this, and they're all positive, and they all say it works.
I'm glad you said peer-reviewed, because every study you got to be
Yes.
suspicious of, but
Yes.
peer-reviewed
But you can look
counts.
these up, and look up Gary Brecka, because he's a huge fan. He says he doesn't leave his house without this thing, and it gives you energy. It helps your cells. So, water is good for your cells. It gives you energy. Well, this is like putting that on steroids. It helps recovery from workouts. It helps with inflammation. It helps with all sorts of things. So I definitely give this a plus. I feel like the water tastes better. I feel like when I drink it, I have more energy. It's just a really neat hack. So you can spend a lot of money on this, or you can get one on Amazon that's not too bad.
All right.
But I think it's worth it, okay?
All right, and we only have seconds left, so
Okay.
alkaline water, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Alkaline water is you're wasting your money, if you want to ask me, and you're just spending money on extra water that sounds fancy. You
All
don't
right.
need to raise your pH. It's actually not doing that.
Okay.
It's probably not working, but the water tastes great, it's clean, and it can hydrate you more.
All right, Michelle, you're the best. Thanks
All right,
so much.
you're welcome.
All right, we're going to share Michelle's advice and all her tips and tricks on BloomTampaBay.com. And stick around, we're getting you red carpet ready for upcoming Oscar parties when Bloom returns. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. We are back with wild health trends, and our next guest found popular makeup and skin tricks that work. Joining me now to get you red carpet ready for your Oscar party is podcast host of Smiling Gives You Wrinkles and Beauty Ed's Donna Frances. It's so great to see you, Donna.
Thank you for having me.
So Donna, let's talk about trends. We've been talking about all kinds of trends, and some of them are good, some of them not so good, but you found some makeup and skincare that is totally on point.
Yeah, well, we've got the Oscars coming up. So we've had the Golden Globes and the SAG Awards, and I've been looking at what everyone's been wearing and what makeup they've been using. And this year is actually quite understated as far as makeup and skincare and hair care. It really starts with the skin. All the celebrities are making sure they're having like amazing treatments before they're hitting the red carpet, so their skin is really lovely and glowy.
I like that, and there are so many things that you can do to transform your skin to have that almost like glowing pop to it.
Yes, there's the treatments that are really trending right now are things like microneedling, which involves like pricking your skin with tiny needles that really helps boost collagen production. And then there's dermaplaning, which is using razors. It sounds really scary, but it isn't, to kind of get rid of that fuzz and really prep skin for makeup so it looks so gorgeous once the makeup goes on.
And I know that you like to talk a lot about, I follow you on social media, that you're a woman who's 47 years old. You don't want to dive into Botox and all those kinds of things. And this is a great time to embrace that because there are so many things both on the shelves of your favorite makeup store or at your local esthetician that can give you a look without anything invasive.
Definitely. There's so many great lasers out there, some great facials. I do a lot of massage at home. I use jade rollers. There's some things here that I use. I use this face cupping instruments, which are great. They really kind of get your circulation glowing so your skin looks amazing afterwards. And I love to use kind of more natural methods to really give my skin a lift.
Admittedly, I would be lying because I'm a 57-year-old woman if I didn't say I like Botox and fillers, but I really am a strong believer in taking care of your skin because it really staves off the need for too much of that stuff. If you want to dust yourself off with a little Botox, go for it, but you really can get magical results. Now, the one thing I haven't been able to wrap my head around, I want to be able to do it, is this new makeup trends. I mean, there's so many cool things. You see people putting things on with sticks on their face, and then all of a sudden they're contoured and they're glowing, and I'm like, wow, how did you even do that?
I must admit that I'm not even there yet either. I'm very less is more person, and that is something that a lot of the celebrities are doing as well. I'm kind of like, I'm either a lip person or I'm an eye person, a bit of tinted moisturizer or foundation, and I'm going. But I do admire all the contouring. It's amazing what you can do to your skin now.
Well, I think as you age, I mean, I don't even wear, what we used to call back in the old school days, base or foundation. I only wear tinted moisturizer because I don't want it seeping into my lines. So there are like all these tricks of the trade that you can use to just kind of still have that natural look without looking overdone. And I think as we age, it's even better to play it that way.
100%. It's less is more, I think more so as you age. And I think opting for creamier textures as well, because anything too powdery is going to really crease into the lines and make you look older.
All right, and so now let's talk about some of the accessories. Are these just to be able to give a little pop if you're going to an Oscar party?
Yeah, so I've got this lipstick on today,
Okay.
which is beautiful. It's made by a makeup artist, and it's a suede texture. I must say I love the packaging because it's magnetic and it's got
it's
like
so
a cute
cool.
mirror inside, which
Yeah.
I love. But as I said, the colours that are in, like this is I can't actually get it up. This is a gorgeous pink, and reds are beautiful. And then also for your hair, if you want to kind of have a little bit of an accessory in your hair, bows are huge at the moment. And these are like sweet little clips that you can wear, but even if you just get a ribbon and tie it loosely, if you put your hair in like a loose ponytail and just tie the bow loosely, it's a really cute way of updating your look. And it doesn't have to be young as well. It can be quite sophisticated, so it's an easy way.
So you're saying that it could be something like not just for young girls to do, but really for women of all ages, just, you know, how you have your hair and the placement of it.
Yeah, I think people see bows and they think, oh, schoolgirls, but it really doesn't have to be like that. It has to be, you're right, how you wear it. It's all about not putting it up in a high ponytail and then putting a bow in. It's kind of relaxed and just placing it really softly in the hair.
And let's talk a little bit, we only have 30 seconds, but about your fit. I love the dress. I love the boots. I mean, it all comes together so beautifully.
Thank you. Well, I feel like if I'm wearing glitz on top, I need to pare it down but below.
Which is on trend right now.
Yeah, I
it
think
really is.
put biker boots with anything and you're good to go, honestly.
I love that. Well, as always, it's such a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to share Donna's skincare trends and makeup trends on BloomTampaBay.com. And before we go to break, it is time for today's Bloom Trivia question. We're going to have a little Oscar trivia for you today. Leonardo DiCaprio won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his role in which film? The Revenant, Don't Look Up, or Titanic? We'll have the answer later on Bloom. Welcome back. Whether you are throwing an Oscar party or just want amazing, entertaining ideas, our next guest has you covered. Here to help us roll out the red carpet in the Bloom kitchen is restaurateur and the author of Cravings Boss, Chef Natalia Levy. It is always so great to see you, Chef Natalia.
Wonderful to see you too, Gayle. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for this amazing spread. How kind of you to go through all this trouble for us.
Oh, it's always so much fun to do. And the whole team contributed, I have to say. Everybody, we just put all of our heads together and all the ideas into.
Well, you deserve one of these.
Well, no, you deserve one of these.
So what are we starting with today?
So whether you're entertaining for the Oscars, like you mentioned, or just having fun entertaining at home, a lot of people are drinking less. So we have all of this barware that's just sitting and collecting dust. So we thought, how can we utilize the barware as vessels for food?
This is a great idea. Right? I love this.
So we rolled out the red carpet, and for the Oscars party, let's have fun and create some fun appetizers that sometimes might be reminiscent of the movies that might be at the Oscars. So something explosive as in the movies, right?
I like that.
So we had a lot of fun. So our culinary director, Chef Hart, created this stunningly looking and very healthy strawberry watermelon beet gazpacho. And we actually have it at our Palm Avenue Deli. So
That's in Sarasota, right?
That is in Sarasota,
okay.
Yes. So we have these gorgeous shot glasses.
Ooh, it's gorgeous.
With this, I mean, I can't get over this color. And at the deli, the plate is large, so it gets covered with a lot of toppings. So we build the flavors. You know how in the movies you build up the momentum,
a lot of suspense.
Yes. So we build this up. So we start with a shot glass, and then we start decorating. We can put some almonds in there, and dill and horseradish here, and some ripe croutons, and we have. We're making a mess here.
Don't worry about it.
Talking about explosions, right?
You never know what's going to happen on this set of Bloom.
God, this is action-filled set.
We have a stunt cook over here to the right. But no, that's really cool. And I love the individual servings that you have for a party because it makes it where people can kind of grab and go watch what's on TV and just enjoy their time.
And that's what it feels like. Instead of, traditional dinner parties, we end up spending a lot of time in the kitchen, and this creates an opportunity for all the prep to be done in advance.
Okay.
And then you can actually enjoy and have fun with friends.
I love it. So what is this? This looks amazing.
This is great. It's a great idea. So I usually melt my chocolate in a double boiler.
That's really a cool idea.
An idea is melt it right in the glass measuring cup so that it's easier to pour.
That's
once
brilliant.
It's melted.
So you just put that with a little steaming water under it and it
That's right.
melts it? I love that idea.
Yeah, so then we pour the chocolate right over the parchment-filled paper, and then popcorn. Popcorn is huge for the movies, but how can we make it super exciting bark? So this is, we're calling this popcorn bark coupe.
I love it.
We're going to serve this popcorn bark in the coupe glass. So do you want to?
Sure, yeah, and I sanitize.
Make some arrangements.
So we'll just put some in here?
Yeah. And I just think that it's so much fun, and now you can create your own bark flavor. So here we have dark chocolate, We have movie theater popcorn, or you can make healthy air popcorn. We have freeze-dried berries, which add that complexity of flavor and antioxidants.
Oh, I
Right,
love
we
it.
have
So
some
healthy
seeds.
and cleverly done. I
That's
love
it.
this. So I'm going to nibble on this while we talk about what's over here.
So we have charcuterie because we have to be cute. We have
I
to have
love
fun,
that.
right? Do you want to hang on to your
Yes, I
Oscar
do.
here?
I like this.
So we are going to start filling the glass, our martini glass, with some chocolate covered almonds, and then this is the fun part. We're going to make some salami roses. So we line up the salami, and then we just kind of fold it over.
What a cute idea.
All right, and we can put it right in the center here, and then we can fill it with some rosemary and berries.
I love
And-
this.
Right? It's just, how much fun can you have with this?
By the way, this popcorn's amazing. This is
Is
so
it
good.
so good? And it's
so good.
fast. And I would pop it in the fridge for like 5 or 10 minutes. You just want the chocolate to set,
Right.
but you don't want the popcorn to get soggy.
No, so that's perfect. That's a good tip. 5 minutes and you're ready to go.
Ready, it's super quick. So we just make, you want to finish topping as well?
Sure, sure. And then, I love the cheese. And then, as you mentioned, a lot of people, including myself, we're not really drinking that much anymore. Not a lot of hard liquor or anything like that. So you kind of had a mocktail here that you wanted to show.
Right. So even at our restaurants, at both Kojo and Barhana, our bar team have created cocktails that are complex in flavors. So, but because a lot of the guests are asking whether they're expecting or they're just not drinking, so the team had come up with a series of mocktails that are still culinary inspired, that are still very complex, and we use kitchen ingredients to create the complexity of flavors. So we start with a mixture of orange juice and agave syrup and lime juice. And then, so we mix that. And then some companies are starting to make alcohol-free liqueurs.
I
so
love that.
the flavors are actually complex, and they remind us of the flavors of the alcohol,
Right.
but zero alcohol. And then we mix everything together. And here's the fun part. We use avocado oil to top this. So
Ooh.
we actually have a cocktail called Lava Lamp.
Okay.
So avocado oil becomes like this little floating oil, so that becomes very beautiful. And the flavor is so, look at how gorgeous
Oh
that is.
my gosh, that is so cool. And then you,
So we put sage right into we build the flavors of the cocktail,
Okay.
just the same way as we build the flavors of the regular cocktail. So in the shaker, you would add ice, and then you would add
I love
your
sage.
juices, and you would add your
I
non-alcohol.
taste it?
Go for it.
it's non-alcohol. I'm allowed to drink it on air, y'all. Amazing.
Isn't that so good?
So good. Well, thank you. This lady has so many amazing restaurants, and I appreciate you giving us a taste of your magic.
And
You're
then
the best.
Thank you. Explosive presentation
I
here.
liked it. It was perfect. We're going to share these recipes with you on BloomTampaBay.com. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We begin where your checkup ends. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Today is International Women's Day, and our next guest is known nationwide for her event planning and helping people make their dreams come true. Joining me now is the president and founder of RSBP Events and PR, Brooke Palmer-Cool. It is so great to see you, my friend.
So nice to see you, my friend.
So you have had such an incredible career, and we're going to show some videos from your amazing events, but you really came up with this grassroots ideas, like you said, in your 20s, and you've grown it to I mean, it's leaps and bounds.
Well, I think for me, I grew up in a very entertaining household. My mother, I always called her like the Martha Stewart of DC in a way. And just growing up, the way she produced tea parties for us and the things that we did for birthday parties and being the room mom, I just think I had this entertaining knack in my blood. Maybe a penchant for tablescaping that I didn't really realize I had. Love for Christmas, as you know, kind of my psychosis about the holiday decor. And it just turned into something while I was in graduate school that I was a part-time job into an event that business that I never in a million years dreamed I was going to be a veterinarian. So here I am.
That's crazy because we're looking at some video of you pulling events together, and I think your knack, even when it comes down to your old wedding, which I was just trying to dig through archives to find video that I took with my GoPro. I was so excited to be there. Like, you have this way of taking events from maybe what somebody might imagine in their mind to even beyond those expectations.
Well, I think it's really important that you give people an experience. Whether I'm doing PR for a restaurant, I'm doing an event for a restaurant, I'm doing an event for a client, you want that progressive feeling, and you want people to walk away and be like, wow, that was a great event. And I know you obviously were at my wedding 10 years ago, and I remember seeing you when I walked down the aisle with the GoPro, and I thought it was just one of the most heartwarming things to me because we had joked about it before. But point being, even now, 10 years later, I wanted to give people an experience that they never forget, and I don't think a lot of people have forgotten it. So I try to take that approach with every event I do and really try and help people think outside the box. I always say I'm not like your typical wedding planner or typical event planner, because I'm going to throw some crazy idea at you. And if you trust me, I promise you it's going to execute in a way that you're going to be like, wait, that was awesome. Thanks for pushing me a little bit.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, I do remember, like, we were down in Sarasota at the Katazan, the Ringling Museum, and, you know, from the long tables with candelabras and the floral and just walking around, I felt like I was in some kind of Netflix, you know, series for royalty. It was really amazing. So you do that for yourself, and I've been to so many other, you know, events that you have created, even, you know, the famous Burns restaurant trusts you to put on its wine events, and you do so much for the community.
Well, I think too, you know, giving back to the community is something that you have to also look and like, how do I make the experience better? Why is somebody spending $250, $500, $1,000 for a charitable event? You need to give them that experience. Not just come in and it's $250 and they get like a small bite of food and like a crappy glass of champagne. Like, to me, I want people to walk away and be like, well, I can't wait to come back next year. They're going to up their sponsorship check. They're going to give you something bigger and better because you gave them such a great feeling about not only that event, but that nonprofit, that business. And to me, you know, PR was born out of doing these events. So I think I always thought, like, how am I going to make you shine? Whether you're a bride, you're a charity, you're a client, you're a restaurant, what's your story, and how am I going to tell it for you in a way that's authentic, meaningful, and very transparent, and true to the values of who you are as a person, a restaurant, or a business?
And her backstory, I'm going to share a little secret. Is this girl can play the drums like nobody I've ever seen. And everybody who went to her wedding got to see her play in her wedding dress. It was so cool. How do you keep it all together? Do you just have teams of people that you rely on to execute these major events?
Well, shout out to my drum teacher who's been missing me. I've been a little missing in action. Trent, I'm coming, I promise. But I think for me, it's having people you trust. I do count on a lot of different vendor partners and people that have worked for me for a long time. And I think that's also why I have clients that are repeat clients or long-time clients, because they know what they're getting. Kind of like when you walk into a hotel brand, there's all different types of hotel brands. When you walk into certain places or certain restaurants, you manage your expectations. That's one of my favorite things. Like, you really have to manage expectations for people.
And that's what you do best.
I think that then they know what they're getting. If they're hiring Brooke Palmer to do an event or do their PR, you know, like, trust me, the journey's going to be fun, and I promise you it's going to be worth the experience.
Brooke, thank you so much. We're going to share Brooke's incredible journey on BloomTampaBay.com. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Aggressor Adventures.
Adventure travel is on the rise, offering unique once-in-a-lifetime experiences to enjoy for your next vacation. Joining me now with insights is the owner and CEO of Aggressor Adventures, Wayne Brown. Wayne, welcome to Bloom.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So talk to me about some of the exciting adventures that you offer through Aggressor Adventures.
So kind of on the Cliff Note version of what Aggressor Adventure is we are the largest adventure tour company in the world, offering everything from topside to underwater in 40 different locations around the world. So if you want to scuba dive with, schools of hammerhead sharks, you want to cruise the Nile on our 20-guest Daha Bay and see all the amazing sights over there with the Valley of the Kings and Luxor, or you want to go to Sri Lanka, stay at our signature lodge, tour the cultural sites over there, and the safaris in the afternoon with largest herds of Asian elephants in the world and leopards and sloth bears. We have something for everybody.
And talk to me about what makes Aggressor Adventure stand out among adventure travel options.
Yeah, we specialize in small group travel, so bespoke travel for 18 to 20 customers. Each trip has a specialist guide, whether it's an Egyptologist or a cultural guide in Sri Lanka or wherever we're at. We have a small guide, a guide for the small group that you're able to interact with, ask questions of, stand around and listen to, and really get a feel for the entire experience. We don't want you to just come to a country and see some wildlife, whether it's above or below. We want you to experience the cultural side of it, so you really come away, with a complete understanding of where you've been visiting.
And can you tell us about a unique cultural experience at one of your destinations?
That happens almost every trip, but I recently was on our Nile River cruise, and we stop at a little village called El Cab. Because our vessel is smaller, we get to stop at a lot of unique places. And El Cab has some amazing tombs out back with still colorful hieroglyphics in it. And then after the tomb visit, we always let the guests, wander through the fishing village and talk to the locals and kind of see what life is like along the Nile River. And so I was standing over by the vessel waiting on the guests to come back, and one of the people hawking their little tourist wares there, invited me over to have some of their scalding hot tea that they drink over there, little sips of sweet tea. And he took out his sitar and started playing a couple songs. And after he finished, he said in much better English than I have Arabic, but where are you from? And I said, well, I'm from United States of America. And he said, I have a brother in Chicago. So it's, you're across the halfway around the world in foreign lands and foreign cultures, and there's always some little nugget that just pulls the whole world together.
It really does. It is a small world after all. Real quick, Wayne, is this for just regular travels or big groups or both?
Both. So about half our customers are by themselves or husband and wife. The rest are small groups that know each other or go with another travel agency. We have a lot of travel agencies around the world that book with us for their local country. And we have 9 adventure planners here that you can call and talk to, and they can walk you through where might be the best place for you to start with us, or maybe your second or third trip with us, and help you with navigating the best way to get there, also through our airline reservation center.
Well, Wayne, it's been great catching up with you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Gayle.
And for more information on Aggressor Adventures, visit aggressor.com. We will be back with more Bloom right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Aggressor Adventures. The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Renewal by Andersen of Tampa.
Welcome back to Bloom. It's time for your window to the weekend, presented by Renewal by Andersen of Tampa. Unicorn World is galloping to Tampa Bay with an immersive, interactive experience on the mythical creature. Joining me now is Unicorn World show director Philip Goatee. Philip, welcome to Bloom.
Thank you for having me today.
So what a cool event. Tell me about what everyone can expect.
Yeah, of course. So Unicorn World is a family-friendly, immersive event filled with all the mythical creatures you can think. Unicorns, mermaids, fairies, a lot of pink, a lot of glitter, a lot of sparkle.
So I understand this idea started in Tennessee and it's grown nationwide.
It has. So our owners and founders, Lauren and Patrick Mines, took their children to a similar type of event, but wanted to create something a little more magical. So they started by writing a book. It involves their children as the main characters, and they turned the book into this event, and we've now done over 30 events nationwide, all up and down the coast.
And it looks like this is something that adults and kids alike can get into.
Very much so. I like to say it's for the young to the young at heart. You don't have to have a kid to come experience the magic. Just come out and enjoy the day.
Now, do people get dressed up? I mean, just even putting this headband on right now makes me feel like I'm part of a magical experience.
Oh yeah, we have outfits that come, you know, everybody dressed to the nines. There's all kinds of tulle and fluff and light up everything you can imagine.
What do you think it is about the unicorn that makes people just so happy on the inside?
It's just the fact that it's such a freeing mythical creature, reminding people just to be who they are and not let anything hold them back.
That is so. And what do you hope the public takes away from this?
I just want them to come out and enjoy the magic. I know you have a lot of magic in your backyard here in Tampa, but just a little extra sparkle that we're bringing your way.
And it's probably a good idea if people sign up and pick their time slot, because you really want to make it an immersive experience. You need room to breathe.
Of course. So tickets are available online on our website at theunicornworld.com. You pick your day and time slot that works best for you. Once you're in our event, you can stay and play as long as you want to until our doors close that day.
That is really, really fun. And is this happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds?
It is. We're at the State Fairgrounds in the Expo Hall.
That is really cool. And I guess this is a family-friendly event. Everybody is welcome, and you just become part of the magic.
Yeah, you just come and enjoy the magic and experience it for yourself.
All right, well, this is really, really cool. Thank you for letting me wear this headpiece. There is something even about just slightly dressing up that makes all the difference in the world. Are people encouraged to come dressed up?
Of course, yeah. I'll even be dressed up when you see me there, so.
Okay, all right. Well, we're looking at a few more things. We're showing how interactive this event is, from face paintings to art. There's something for everybody, and just go and enjoy. Become your best magical self, everyone. And once again, the Unicorn World gallops into town on March 9th through March 10th at the Florida State Fairgrounds. You do need to pick a time slot that you want to go. So what we'll do is we'll put all the information that you need to know on bloomtampabay.com. And we will be back with more Bloom right after this, so don't go away.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Renewal by Anderson of Tampa.
It's time for today's Bloom trivia question. We have a little Oscar trivia for you today. Leonardo DiCaprio won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his role in which film? The Revenant, Don't Look Up, or The Titanic? The answer is The Revenant. DiCaprio won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of Hugh Glass in the 2015 film, The Revenant. Well, thank you so much for tuning into Bloom today. You can catch Bloom anytime by following us on social media. We're on all major platforms, so get a behind-the-scenes look at all of the innovative breakthrough health and wellness conversations and incredible guests that we have right here on Bloom. And don't forget to check out our podcast, The Bloom Health Club. You can catch it live on Facebook and YouTube on Mondays at 2 p.m. We take a deep dive and have extended conversations with some of the top guests that we have right here on Bloom. Of course, you can stream episodes anytime on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Well, we hope you'll tune in again on the next Bloom presented by Lifeguard Imaging. The invasions of microplastics in our world isn't just hurting the environment, it's wreaking havoc on your health. We will talk to gut health expert Ella DeVar, who says it's showing up in your bloodstreams and organs. Find out what you can do to cut down on exposure. And we'll tell you about a grassroots effort taking off in Tampa Bay, getting clothes to kids. Stay healthy, everyone, and I will see you on the next Bloom.
Content segments during Bloom were paid for by Aggressor Adventures and Renewal by Anderson of Tampa.
Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.